First of all, thank you all for coming. Really wanted to give some brief sound on what has happened thus far throughout the day. We've had a number of peaceful protests throughout our city at the Atlanta University Center. Very, very successful, peaceful protests. We, of course, had a very large protest that began at Underground Atlanta with a number of protesters and organizers with the faith community. Extremely thankful for our community for really preaching peace and really living by that. We've had a few splinter groups that have created challenges for us throughout the night. That group went onto the expressway. We, the city of Atlanta, effected about 4 arrests on the freeway. I know that the Georgia State Patrol did make additional arrests at the same time. That same group exited the expressway and moved up Peachtree Street and began to create and break windows. And we made a determination that it was important for us to move in and disband that group. We effected a number of arrests at the time, and I'll go through the various different charges that we have at this time. A total of about 21 arrests thus far, one felony weapon charge, obstruction, impeding the flow of traffic, damage to property. We had a failure to disperse. 4 properties were damaged. The first property had a double pane window at Ellis and Peachtree Street at Ellis Hotel. That window was not broken, but there was a large attempt to break that window. Meehan's Restaurant had their window pane broken. The Wells Fargo Bank at 240 Peachtree Street was broken. We had one of our vehicles' window that was shattered, one of our patrol vehicles, as well as a taxi vehicle at Peachtree and Ellis. We do have that same splinter group that's operating still in our city. I want to say this to all of the group, the participants and individuals that work with us in advance, months in advance, our community leaders, our partners. They've done a great job in making sure that our people in the city of Atlanta continue to be calm and peaceful. We just have a group of individuals that simply mean this city no harm that are out there operating at this time. So we'll take questions if you have anything, but that's all we have at this time.
Have there been any injuries tonight to officers or to protesters that you can tell us?
I do not believe that, I don't know about any protest injuries. They could have had things that took place. Extremely dangerous situation by going on the freeway. Put our officers in a very difficult location to be able to mitigate that situation. But we did have, I do know that there was a Georgia State Patrol officer that was actually wounded. Apparently there was a protester shot a flare in his neck. I think that he's all right at this point, but that's the only injury that we have thus far.
Any use of pepper spray or other implements like that? We saw a woman being taken into custody on Decatur Street, and she appeared to have something in her eye. Didn't know if maybe she had to be subdued. Yes. Any confirmation on anything like that at this point? Well,
I'll have to get back with you on that. I do know that we probably did not a large canister. It was probably an individual on the officer's belt that he had to effect that arrest at the time.
Can you talk about some of the tactics the APD has used tonight? What kind of gear, what kind of tools?
Just regular police officers, human beings. We've been out there. Our officers have been trained, obviously, as you could witness, in our crowd control methods, and that's what we attempted to use. We did everything that we could to effect arrest without creating and causing harm to any of the arrestees.
Chief, we watched for quite some time as these folks marched not only onto the connector but through the city streets, blocking traffic. Why wait the time that was waiting before you guys started making arrests?
Well, we thought it was important to allow individuals to express themselves peacefully. That was prior to any properties that was damaged. After that took place, we thought it was important that we needed to take those people off the streets. We have a history in this city, as you know, Ryan, of allowing people to exercise their constitutional rights. That's the intent of this entire demonstration. We've worked with all of our partners for more than a month now to make sure that the community understood what we were trying to do, and we've been working with them to make sure that people could actually demonstrate and protest peacefully in the city.
Where these people will be taken tonight? Sorry, I just with jail.
I mean, you guys were watching the entire time and saw people breaking windows and glass. When that happened, what did you guys decide at that point to move in?
Well, as you know, we made a opening statement earlier today that we would not allow property to be damaged. We had no other choice but to move in and to effect arrest and prevent that from taking place in our city.
Chief, can you run down property damage?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
You had a question?
I was just wondering if you knew where all of these arrestees were going to be transported this evening, all to city jail or Fulton County?
It depends on the charge. The felony weapons charge, obviously that person will be going to Fulton County. I don't know all of that, but we'll get that to you later. I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
If you can run down the list of property damaged property again?
Well, we know that the property at the Ellis Hotel, that particular property, I don't know if they were actually able to break that window. They attempted a double pane window there. They broke the window at Meehan's Irish Pub there at 200 Peachtree Street. Broke the window at Wells Fargo at 240 Peachtree Street. And then we had one of our vehicles windshield smashed. I don't know the exact location. And then there was a taxi vehicle that was at Ellis and Peachtree where the windshield was broken at that location.
How's the progress of dispersing the crowd right now, as far as you know?
We're doing everything that we can to disperse that individual splinter group. We have our people on the streets monitoring that group, providing them all of the opportunities to be peaceful and to disperse.
What are your plans for the rest of the night?
Our plans for the rest of the night is to be here and make sure that our city is in a peaceful state.
How many officers out?
We have a large number of officers. I don't know the total number. We can get that to you.
What do you say to protesters or demonstrators who may be thinking, you know, we're not finished tonight, we're going to come back tomorrow night, the following night? What do you say to those people who may be planning to keep this up for several nights?
Well, obviously, we want to encourage our leaders in our city to talk to those individuals that are out there creating havoc in our city. I believe that we are better than what we're seeing. So the fact is, if they are there, we will not leave our city unprotected. So we will be here to take care of our city.
And how much responsibility, or maybe not responsibility, but how much are you looking to community leaders, church leaders, to kind of step in and help kind of keep tensions down or advise people on the safe, appropriate way to vent their frustration?
Let me just say this. I continue to talk about partnership. All of those faith leaders, our business community, our civic leaders, our civil rights leaders have been extremely successful in having conversations and trying to talk to individuals about what is the most appropriate way to protest. And we've had a tremendous amount of success throughout the day. I believe that the individuals that are out there now mean this city no good at all. And so the individuals that really had a desire to be peaceful, they're at home in their beds.
What can you tell us about this splinter group? What is their name? How many are there? What are they up to?
I can't answer that. I know that we know where they are, who they are. We don't have that information at this time.
Chief, you've been here for quite some time, and just maybe give me a personal reflection. Obviously, the whole day went well. Underground was peaceful and controlled. In fact, you didn't really see a lot of officers. They seemed to police themselves. For this to happen tonight, for this, as you call it, a small group, to sort of ruin the day, what do you want to say just personally, how just reflection in terms of all the work that's been put in?
Well, you know, we can only, as I said earlier, we have to prepare for the absolute worst. And I believe that we did that. We're prepared to do that, to deal with the issues on the streets for the remaining of the night. And at any time that any group that want to come in and violate the law and create a negative situation for our city.
So you've arrested, 21 out of that group?
Let me just say this: we've made, as we have right now, I have a total of 21 total arrests. That number could change as we move through the night.
What other agencies are helping with law enforcement this evening?
We have all of our local partners, state partners, and the GBI, and the FBI is with us, giving us intelligence information.
The state patrolman that was injured, where did that happen?
I believe, I don't know, I can't speculate on that. I don't know that for sure. I'm sure that the colonel can get you that information from the State Patrol.
One more question.
Thank you all. Appreciate you for coming.